Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Amused Jester. My name is Junior, and today we're going to be reviewing two Masters of the Universe Masterverse figures. I'm going to do two because these are basically the same characters that I've had before, but we'll do comparisons and all that stuff. So we'll start off with Teela. Actually, we'll just go ahead and do a turn around of both boxes. And really impressive artwork again coming from Mattel's Masters of the Universe. Yeah. Also, she got this part here, the goddess Teela. So honestly, I almost didn't pre-order these because I've been trying to cut down on my pre-orders a little bit just to save a little bit of money. So I almost didn't pre-order these. So let me go ahead and open them up out of the boxes, and we'll take a look at the figures and comparisons. Alright, so there they are out of packaging. Yes, it's a jumbled mess. I deliberately did it that way so we can look at it more interestingly enough. So Teela comes amazingly with a lot of stuff. A regular spear figure, the staff, the snake staff for the goddess, the shield and the headdress, and a pair of close-fisted hands. And then Hordak, aside from the figure itself, comes with a Horde shield or Hordak shield, a new staff that he carries, and a pair of wings. Now, this is basically $22. Not talking about the value or anything, but I think I've always expressed that G.I. Joe has classified Hasbro was one of the best toy lines out there, the very top. But I've always believed and said that after G.I. Joe Classifieds comes Mattel's Masters of the Universe Masterverse line. Having said that, we know, or I've said that I'm kind of gonna miss G.I. Joe Classifieds because of the price increase that they've had. Kind of brings down the value of the figures in the toy line. Will the same thing happen with Masterverse? Because I think they're also going up in prices. It used to be $19.95, I believe, Masterverse. Now it's $22. But having said that, let's go ahead and deal with Teela really quickly. Here's the staff over here, the snake staff. Maybe I should change the lighting source. Alright, so here's the staff, snake staff over here. The base color of the plastic, I believe, is this one. So this is an actual paint application. I do believe it is supposed to be bent like that. And here's the secondary spear, unpainted. I'm okay with that. Oh, some snake on the staff at all as well. Here's the shield, really nice design, pointed cone at the very middle, and straps. Really nice. I actually like the side plate here for the side of the face, and then this part over here. I actually like that better than the Mondo design. Alright, so let's take a look at Teela's face. I'm gonna have to say I'm not really overwhelmed as I was with the She-Ra face. I feel like that's a lot more successful in this one. I can see now why some reviewers have said so. Also, I'm kind of put off by the difference in skin tones on her chest to her limbs to the face. It's probably because it's been cast differently. Like this was probably cast in white, and this is painted on flesh. It's close enough, but you can, like, when I took it out of packaging, it's the first thing that kind of popped off. Now, some really nice detail. And while we're doing this one, what I'll do is I'll bring out the Teela that we had previously. And well, I mean, like, okay, so this is definitely makes it look better, because this one, I don't know what's going on with this face. Looks like a guy's face now that I have this one side by side. Obviously, I think this is from the Masterverse cartoon. Well, this one's very much more closer to she was in the original cartoon in the 1980s. So I do kind of like that. I am kind of happy that I got her as an upgrade. Oh yeah, look. So this one doesn't have the bicep cut anymore. So that would limit the articulation. Oh, and she doesn't have the double joints anymore as this one does. But the sacrifice in articulation or the joints was offset by the fact that it's got a better sculpt. Uh, so I don't know if I kind of like that. I mean, I still think of this as a toy rather than a figure. So I would almost, I mean, for something like for the body like this, I would prefer the articulation rather than losing the range and going for the looks for the body. But for the face, then I would say this is a better face than what we'd had before. So going down in the bottom over here, so definitely much more defined sculpting on the feathers of her boots. She got the straps in the boots as they did. Really nice, intricate detail on the body work over here. So here in the back, you can really tell the difference in terms of the flesh tone. Really stands out. While we have them, let's compare the articulation range. So the old one can look a little bit higher. Oh, but it's because she doesn't have the tail on her head. Okay, about the same range as down. The shoulders should not be changed, so that should be all around. Goes to 90, and I bet you she's not gonna go. Well, she does go just as high. Well, we already know it's not gonna do double joints, so that's kind of disappointing. It's not even going to 90. And then has an elbow twist. Mattel, I would suggest paying attention to what Hasbro does, where they actually make the hinge longer, going all the way here. That's how they're able to accomplish a wider range of articulation when it comes to the elbows. And then, yeah. And then the wrist is basically an in and out and a twist to the side. She's got a cut, or a straight cut on her waist. Okay. But then she has a bowl cut on the upper part of the body, which provides the good range there. Nothing going forward, a little bit going back. And that's not a 90. I'm not going to give him a 90 for that. That's kind of like maybe almost a 50 degree. That's a 90 right there. Nothing going down. It's a drop down though. It's a drop down hip. And with the drop down, you're close to the 90 a little bit, but the thigh starts pointing towards to the side. Does still retain a thigh cut. They still retain the double joints on the knees. Yeah, it's an identical design. I said a design, not an identical sculpt. A boot cut. Okay, up and down on the ankle, and an ankle rocker as well. So yeah, there's definitely an improvement from the old Teela. And I wanted to do a comparison with She-Ra because I feel She-Ra is more The newest Shira version was more successful. Unfortunately, she's one of the figures that's currently in the box right now that I need to mess around with. So yeah. So how does this work in terms of putting in the face? You don't remove that. So I'm assuming it just. Hmm. Remove the head completely. See if that will make it easier to pop it in her head. Yeah. Put it back on. Okay. So it's kind of like sculpted inside, so it hugs the headdress hugs the sculpt. Um, that looks pretty cool. And that one right there, yeah. I might. Wow, that's actually kind of interesting. She looks really, really good as the sorceress goddess, snake goddess, Teela. To the point that I'm actually tempted to get a second one of her, but maybe I'm not gonna pay full price though. Maybe like if I see her at Ross discounted, then I'll definitely pick up a second one because I don't think because it's like molded, I doubt we'll be able to put it on this head. What? Wait, hold on a second. It kind of works because the plastic is malleable enough. You know what? I think that works because I'm trying to save money. It improves the look of the old Teela. Again, it maybe if I see it at a discounted Ross, then I'll pick it up. I'll pick up a second one, but for now, I think this works to just display Teela as the goddess. I'll have to do this the hard way. I think that works pretty good. Have the goddess Teela over here and Teela over here pretty much represented, so that's pretty good. So now let's look on to Hordak over here, and I'm gonna have to say that although initially I didn't want to get another Hordak because I was kind of happy with mine, when I received this and I look at this face and I was like, oh my goodness, that is one awesome looking face. There's just something about this that's very striking. So this is the old Hordak that I have. I think I have another Hordak. That's why I didn't want to pick up a third one. A different version of this one. I'm not sure. But that is a big difference. This one has a more robotic look, almost like a mask. This one is definitely much more scarier. The change in the Hordak design symbol is also really well done. This very has a more wing-like design. Everything's completely different about this guy. Wow. And almost, he is taller. Oh my goodness, wait. I think Teela is also taller. Yeah, she's slightly taller than the old Teela. And then this one, this Hordak, is definitely way taller. Much taller than the old Hordak. This kind of scares me because are they changing the scale for Masterverse? It still kind of works because Hordak is a villain, and it's nice to see him taller, but is he gonna end up taller than Skeletor? This is my preferred version of Skeletor, the 40th anniversary Skeletor, and yes, oh my gosh, she is way taller than Skeletor. So I'm gonna have Skeletor out here just to show that the thighs are bigger, longer, even though it's almost the same sculpt. Yeah. And see, the biceps are the same. Yeah, same length. They gave an extra height difference to the torso, to the whole body, by changing the length of the thigh, as you can see. By maybe, it's very minimal, but it's there. Interesting. Wing design over here. I want to take out... Oh, this is the 40th anniversary, so it's got a different body than the regular Masterverse. So the only one that I can compare to in terms of the Masterverse that's out in front is Triclops. So comparing from waist, you can see from the waist up it's the same body, right? Move this out of the way. That's the waist cut's exactly the same. I thought it's even the same at the top of the thigh. This one's slightly longer than this one, and then it changes a lot at the bottom. The foot is much bigger than it was before. But you're probably saying, well, that's a different design. So yeah, but still though, it's just, I don't know, it's just somehow they were able to make it a whole lot bigger, a whole lot taller than this one. This one actually has the old body Masterverse, but see, look at that, waist to waist, right? This is one of the things I really like about Masterverse. That's kind of lacking with the G.I. Joe, were removable armors, and even with the armor on, it's just, still looks pretty good. The way they designed the armor, unlike with the Joes, it's just is this articulated? It is articulated. So this thing with the wings, it's this is one of those, like, oh, that's a gimmick. I don't care about that. That's one of the reasons why I almost didn't purchase this one, because this felt like a gimmick, and I'm not I would prefer Hordak to have a cape rather than look how paltry this wings are. If it was bigger, then I'd be more impressed, but as it is, it just seems so lacking. And I apologize, I didn't show the details on the here, but there it is. And then here's the shield. Some interesting texture here. I just noticed he doesn't come with an extra pair of hands. They're like a closed, twisted hands. Unlike Teela. So honestly, I'm gonna remove this because I don't feel that fits. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. That looks better for me. Alright, so let's talk about value. $22 for all this gear, even though I didn't really like the wings. This is Triclops' sword, and I'm gonna leave this in here because basically that one. $22 for this one, that's pretty good. I would say base price 10 equaling to $22. The value I will put at 12 because of the possibility of changing her look completely with the Snake Goddess armor. I'll put it at 13 because by utilizing the armor on this one, the fact that it fits on her made an improvement for this figure. So I'll put it at 13 because of that. In terms of loss of articulation, that is kind of disappointing. It's disappointing that it's not even reaching 90 degrees. Everything else is covered. I mean, like the movement of the bicep that we lose is covered by the movement of the elbow. It's just this one, just one range over here. And the face, which is better, arguably much better than the old one now that I'm comparing them, but still, I still feel like she's below what Shira's face portrait was. I'll keep it at 13. I'm almost tempted to bring her back down to 12 because of the articulation loss of 90. This one, that doesn't make sense that they can't bring it up to at least do 90 degrees, you know. But I'll keep it at 13 because of this armor piece over here. For Hordak is surprisingly good. We're starting off with a base value of 12. This face that I didn't anticipate I will love so much, and look, it's just, I would bump it up to 13, and I will stick with 13. And even though the scale has changed, or his height has changed, it kind of fits the, oh, look at that, it's patterning going on in the gauntlets. It kind of fits the character in my vision. So I will put him at 13. This is a gimmick that if this had worked, if this had been bigger, if this was draped like a cape, then maybe. I actually prefer this better than what happened here. Yeah, so I would value him at 13 as well. Same thing with Teela. This one, there's really not much of a disappointment because even though this doesn't work, I could just shrug it off and say, and still think of the figure as complete. Unlike this one where the bicep or the elbow directly affects the figure and there's no way to disregard it. You know what I mean? So I'll keep him at 13 for that. Almost closer to 14, but I'll keep him at 13 value. But anyway, that's it for my review of Hordak and Teela from the new Masters of the Universe Mattel from their new Etheria line. And then this one's new Eternia. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next review. Bye.